Carmen here. I am a myofunctional therapist and I'm an educator. I'm very active helping teach you guys, my community, my tribe. I have a global online practice, so thank heavens with teletherapy, I am able to bring this therapy to all corners of the globe where these clients might not otherwise get this important therapy. So I'm very happy that I can do that. What are we talking about today? We're going to talk about posture. So I touched on this a little bit back on, I think the June 5th episode when I talked about connective tissues. But this really is like the children's song, that whole, the thigh bone is connected to the knee bone or whatever it is. But posture is a big concern for my clients. There's two topics really that I talk about a lot when it comes to posture. But I'm going to talk about one of those things here in this episode, and then I'm going to talk about the second one in my Facebook Live that I will be doing later today. So first, we're going to talk about forward head posture. When I start to think about why forward head posture is bad, I think of a couple things. For me, as a myofunctional therapist, the first thing that comes to mind is an airway crisis. So somebody has forward head posture. They're trying to get more air in, okay? So they're doing, the chin's forward. They're hunched over, so they have that hump. But really, if you look back to why this really started happening, when we became bipedal subjects, when we started walking on two legs. So if you think about a dog, they're on all fours. So the air comes in and it goes directly straight, travels straight to where it's needed. It doesn't have to go around any corners, if you will. But if you think about us, when we inhale, ideally through your nose, your air has to make a 90-degree turn. So oftentimes when people put that air, their chin forward, it's changing that slope. Now, obviously, it's not changing it drastically, but for a lot of people, it just could be their defense mechanism, so they don't even realize that they're doing it. Forward head posture is really bad, and then it puts extra weight on the spine. So for every inch the head is forward, it puts like 12 extra pounds on the spine. So when we think about those little old ladies that we see all hunkered over, we've always thought that was osteoporosis. And that could be some component of it, but it's very common in people who have breathing issues, airway crisis. So I love to share this example with my clients that my own chiropractor taught me about this, because I used to be in therapy for forward head posture. Mine was about 1 3/4 inches forward, so it was pretty significant. So this example that my chiropractor used to explain to me when he was trying to get me to understand why forward head posture was so bad, he used the bowling ball example. So if you imagine that there's a bowling ball in my hand here, and I'm holding it and it's heavy, I can hold it and support it here better if it's upright with my arm. But if I hold that, if I were to take that bowling ball and I hold it out here away from my body, it becomes harder and harder to support out on that lever. And it's the same type of, it's the same thing when you're considering your head, which is super heavy, on your spine. So posture is super important, okay? It's not something to ignore, but I encourage you to start at the beginning. As I tell a lot of my clients, make sure that you don't have a tongue tie or something that is causing structural alignment. If somebody reaches out to me, I'm never going to tell them, run to your chiropractor, run to, these other body workers. Let's figure out if you have something that physically is a barrier. I have some clients that spend years, thousands of dollars going to chiro, going to massage, only to find out that their structural alignment issues is from something else. So that's really, really important. And when I say chiropractic care, I know that can be very controversial for some people. If this isn't your jam, then totally don't do it. But when I talk about chiro, I'm meaning a good quality provider who might be working in functional medicine, not just somebody who's crack and collect, okay? Crack, they take your cash. Those, those walk-in clinics, that's not what we're talking about. You need to have somebody who really understands structural alignment and it in the big picture of medicine or holistic health. Okay, where do you get started? You find somebody like me. Doesn't have to be me. Find a myofunctional therapist to help you. You might be able to find somebody in your neck of the woods. You can find somebody like me who works globally. I do that because like I said, I see people all over the world, but it just seems so efficient and effective. So to me, it makes total sense. Regardless, find somebody who can guide you. Find somebody who can help you figure out if you have a tongue tie. That's the biggest thing. Figure that out before you throw all this money at all of these other things. But posture is super important. Today in my Facebook Live, I am going to be sharing more information about how posture relates to a tongue tie. So if that is something that resonates with you, then I welcome you to come over to see us at Facebook. We are at The Tongue Trainer. I will be live there at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. I do some sort of educational thing there every Wednesday, so you can always find us there. You can also go to the bottom of any one of my blogs and get my quick assessment tool. This is very, very wonderful for people who like to get information before taking the next step. So take yourself, or perhaps it's for your child. Go through this screening assessment tool. There's 25 questions. See if anything sits with you, if it resonates. If it screams your name, then I encourage you not to ignore it, okay? Also, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us, I have a Facebook support group, which is the Tongue Tie and Myofunctional Therapy support group. And I'm always here, so reach out to me if you need me, and I will see you in the next Myo Minute. Bye for now.